Hey everyone! Today we're going to talk about how to selfie. I get asked this question a lot by a lot of my girlfriends actually, so I thought I would put together some helpful tips, helpful suggestions, and we could do a fun video about it together. So this is for all you people out there who are like, how in the world do I take a good selfie? Here are my hacks, tips, and tricks on how you can take a better selfie. I think first and foremost, everyone, you gotta understand, we are our own worst critics. So of course, when you look at your selfies, you're gonna think, oh, I hate blank, blank, and blank about myself. And that's totally normal. I do the same thing all the time. So you've got to try to remember, it's a selfie. It's not meant to be perfect. It's not meant to be the best photo in the history of the world. It's meant to be a candid, intimate, fun picture of you. I think the first thing we gotta talk about when it comes to selfies is lighting. I know everyone thinks, oh, I'll just take a selfie here, it'll be great. The number one thing I do when I'm taking a selfie is I check my lighting. What you wanna do is find yourself a big, bright light source. Natural light is a wonderful selection and choice. I have big, beautiful windows, so it's easiest for me if I'm near my windows when I'm taking a selfie. You're going to want to face your light as well. Right now, my windows are over here to my left, so if I'm going to take a selfie, I'm going to face my window so I get as much light as evenly on my face and my body as possible. That way, as I'm taking my selfie, my picture works out. If I'm to the side of my window, so the light's on this side, I'm going to get harsh shadow on this side and light on this side, which is great if you're going for a really moody, contrasted, edgy photo, which looks really great for guys. But if you're a girl like me, we don't want that. Having harsh side light and harsh side shadow will highlight the imperfections in your skin, any rough skin, any acne or breakout you might have. It also will create more divots in areas you don't want, harsher shadows on your smile lines, harsher bags, just overall not a great look. So if you're looking for a great selfie, you want to be straight on to your light as much as possible. The next thing you want to try to avoid when it comes to lighting is above lighting, especially if you're trying to get some of your body in the photo. Light from above creates harsh shadows below. So for us ladies with problem areas, it's going to highlight that and we don't want that. It's also going to create highlighted spots that are bright on us, like our forehead, our cheeks, top of our boobs, top of our thighs. Whereas there's going to be dark shadow under our chin, under our eyes, under our nose. So it's going to create that, yet again, that harsh light to dark we were talking about you don't want. So that's lighting. Next, I want to talk about practicing what you are going to do in your selfie. I have spent a lot of time in front of a camera, taking selfies, doing videos, doing professional photo shoots. And the number one thing that I can take away from that is practice. I have had so much practice with taking a selfie and photos of myself that I've kind of learned what are my good angles, what are my good expressions. So the best way to know what's going to look good for your face is to practice. So you can do that by two ways. One, you can sit in front of a mirror and practice your faces. Smiles, excited, something silly. And you want to practice based off your light source as well that you're most likely to use. So my big windows I'm most likely to use, I'm most used to those. So what I will do is turn on the front camera on my phone. That way I can actually see what I'm taking a photo of. I'll then practice. Practicing, I'll practice my faces, smiles. You can do a closed mouth, an open mouth. You can practice your vowels. Vowels are a big thing for your mouth, so O, E, ah, ooh. Practice your vowels. It'll change your mouth shape gently. You don't want to do crazy expressions like ah, ooh. Remember, subtle changes. And the next thing, number one thing after that is to remember to do multiple pictures. I don't just sit there and go, boom, I'm done. I got my selfie. I will sit there and move my camera in varying angles and degrees all within one area to choose which is the best. So I'll start here, I'll do a couple of expressions, I'll change my face and how my face is angled towards the camera. I'll change my camera angle, maybe a little bit more sideways, and I'll try a few more. I'll put the camera a little higher and try a few. I'll change the angle higher and try a few. I'll put it lower and try a few. More in front of me and try a few. I'll try maybe from behind and looking over my shoulder for a few. On average, if you're seeing one of my selfies or you're seeing a candid set of mine on my website, I have taken probably 60 candids in that one outfit that one day. And I will pick my favorite 15 to 20. I pare them down that much. So don't be afraid of taking way more selfies than you think you need. The more selection you have, the better chance you have of seeing something that you like. It doesn't hurt to stop midway through and go, did I like that? I like this angle, but I made a funny face. So you can go back to that and make a better face. It doesn't hurt to check in with what you're doing. You're not going to hit it off the first gate, so don't worry, don't pressure yourself, and don't feel down if you didn't get it. Boom, first try. I always find a higher angle is much better than a lower angle. Lower kind of elongates and it kind of shoots up at your nose and such, and I find it just doesn't look as flattering. Slightly straight on, slightly above, or above I find is best. But it really is dependent on my light and how my light source is working out. So test it out with your lights. If you're using an actual light, like an actual light, you want to get close to it. But if it's an above light, like a lamp that flashes at your ceiling, you want to get lower, much lower than it and farther away. Because you want that light to bounce off your ceiling and diffuse before it gets to you. You don't want it harsh on top of you like we talked about earlier. So for above lights or regular bedroom lighting, you want to get as far away as you can with still being lit nicely. It's all about trying to find that even light. Best thing to do is turn on your front camera on your phone, hold your phone up and try. Do I like this light? No, it's not working. I'm going to back up. Do I like it now? Oh, it's much better. That will help you try to figure out exactly what the light is and how you need your light to be fixed. Also remember, whatever is closest to your camera is going to seem biggest. So if your face is like this to your camera, your face is going to seem huge, where your tits and your body are going to seem tiny. Same as if your boobs are closer to your camera, your boobs are going to seem big and your face is going to seem small. If your hands are right here or you're reaching, your hand's going to seem huge. You're going to seem like you have giant ape hands in a tiny little body. So you want to try to keep as much of your body evenly spaced from the camera. You want your head, you don't want to be leaning forward, you don't want to be leaning back, you want to be standing up straight and taking a photo. I mean, if you want your tits to look huge, you can pop them out a little bit. This also applies when you're taking a photo with somebody else. If my head's here and your head's back here, your head's going to look much smaller. You see how much smaller this hand looks than this hand? So what you want to do is make sure both of your faces are equal distance from the camera. That way, you both have the same size head. Not one person seems huge and one person seems tiny. It's a little bit harder with a selfie. Selfie sticks do help for that. And yes, I will be doing a video on how to selfie stick. I'm still kind of learning that one myself. Also remember, if you want to have your hair over your face like such, it's still important that we see a sliver of your other eye, or it'll look really funny like you only have one eye. Sometimes that can work, very rarely. Best thing to do is if you have hair covering your eye, you want it to be a little bit sparse so you can somewhat see your eye through it and somewhat see mischievousness. I usually rule that if I can't see through the hair on this side, the camera can't see my eye, and then I might end up looking like a cyclops. Another important thing to note is if you have a very bright light source, you don't want that directly behind you. So if I try to take a photo with my big windows and they're behind me, what's going to happen is my camera's going to automatically try to expose for the brightest thing in the room, which is going to be the background. Which means since I am in shadow because there's no light on me and a big back window is very bright, I'm going to be very dim, very dark, and very grainy because there's lots of noise in the dark, in the shadows. You don't want to do that because that's going to make it that much harder to get a good selfie. You're going to look dark, your shadows are going to look screwy, it's not going to be very clear, you're not going to be able to see yourself very well. If you're trying to be artistic and have a backlit photo, what you want to try to do is have yourself take up as much of the frame as possible. So when you're holding your camera up to yourself, you want to make sure that in your screen, you are the biggest thing and that the light source behind is very small. That way your camera will expose for you and not the background. Tricky, I know. It is okay to have bright lights in the background or room lights that fill your space so your space is well lit, but you don't want it so much so that you are just a dark shadow. It won't make for the best selfie. So there you guys go. There's some tips and some tricks on how to get a good selfie. Focus on your lighting. Remember to practice. Do lots of different faces in small increments. Minor changes help. A slight change in your smile. Closed mouth to open. You can also practice opening and closing your eyes more to let in more light, to give more of a ooh expression. All sorts of little things you guys can try, but I encourage you to practice in front of a mirror, practice with your selfie camera, use your front camera so you can actually see what you're doing, and remember to face your light so that you're getting as much even lighting on your body and your face as much as possible so that you can have the best photo. Please comment below if you have any more questions or anything specifically you want to know about selfies and that you think I can help you guys with. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button. It's this magical button right here that shows my face. And these videos here are some of the things you guys can enjoy if you hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you're going to want to do that. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Bye for now.